Hi Village, it's Marianne Goldweber, spiritual teacher, professional medium, and owner of a Village, a personal and spiritual development center. Coming to you live tonight from our video podcast called Marianne's House. And we're in the development center tonight. So grab your cuppa and your notebook and join us. So our topic this evening is manifesting and not being vague when it comes to the universe. They're very literal. So we're going to talk about how to partner our actions and intent with our words in order to manifest new and better things in our life. So join me. I'm looking forward to a lively discussion tonight. We don't have anyone in our studio audience this evening. It's Wednesday. So what's new with you guys? I usually wait for a second for everyone to get on. So I wanted to talk about this because this keeps coming up. I'm on all the social medias. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on all these different platforms. And I have lots of followers and lots of friends. And I'm constantly seeing everyone's posts and all the things that they put out there on social media. And that's, it's kind of fun because that's a little litmus for reading about, what's going on in your world. I try to keep up. I scroll through as much as I can to keep abreast of what's going on, not only in the world, but in your world and what's going on in your lives. But I don't get to see everybody's posts, which, algorithms and all these things. But it's just interesting because so often I'll see someone post something like, I need a job. Okay. Hey, I'm looking for a job. If anybody knows of anything, give me a call. And, or send it my way or whatever. And, I'm thinking if I was the universe and I was scrolling through your social media or I was scrolling through your thoughts, I wouldn't know kind of what to give you because it's very vague. Which brings me to communication. So whether we're communicating with ourselves or with other people or with the universe, words matter. Clarity is very important. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about this evening. And so if, the universe is listening to your thoughts, it's listening to your actual words, and it's partnering that with your action and intent. And that is how new things are revealed to us. So the word manifest actually means to reveal. So they can't reveal new things when they're not really clear on what you want. So that's what we wanted to discuss was how to get clearer, not only with ourselves, but with the universe and showing what we're ready for, what we're ready for in our life in order to manifest new things, whether it's abundance, or just abundant living, more love, more, just more. And so the first step in that is assessing, first of all, where you are. And I always try to clear up a little of the misinformation when we use these words, because some of these words have been reappropriated to mean other things. And so that's why I try to clarify this terminology when it comes to this spiritual perspective, because the words we use are very important. And so the word manifest means to reveal. Okay. So the thing is our words and our actions and our intent are always manifesting. Now, manifesting doesn't mean just good things, okay? It manifests, the universe adds all that up, and then it reveals the thing that you need to receive, whatever that is. So it will appear. And so I don't think people are using this word correctly necessarily. And so I want to talk about how do we stop and really get into that universal flow? So think of your stage crew, your friends, your relatives, your family, your, all on the other side, your guides and all these things. And they're working for you. We're in this mission. We're out here still working the road. And, and we all have a divine connection to that, okay? And we're not always listening, which is something I teach. So as we are in sessions together, we'll talk about how the universe works, the law of reciprocality, and how to get into that flow. Usually by the time I meet somebody, things have gotten kind of screwed up, so, or you lost your way, or you just don't know which way to go. And there's a lot of change going on, not only in our world, but everyone's having new awarenesses being brought to them all the time about, some of the things that we couldn't see before. A lot of new things are being revealed in our world. And so it's having us all question, are we going the right way? How can we contribute? What can we do? So there is a lot manifesting right now. And, mankind has manifested this. Okay. So, like I said, things aren't always positive. Okay. Negative things will manifest because it's the energy that we've put out. So when we put out separateness and we put out greed and we put out, climbing the ladder, not that there's anything wrong with climbing the ladder as long as you're not stepping on folks on the way up. But that separateness has manifested exactly what we're experiencing in this world. Now, whatever, we can unmanifest this. Let's learn from it. And what can we do to change it? So whether I said it's in your own life or it's in the world, everything you have up until this point, as of today, you manifested. You made, it was revealed to you. So, we have a lot of blessings that we've asked for that maybe don't fit anymore, or things that we don't use anymore, whether that's a concept or whether it is a thing. And we need to honor those things, honor the blessings that we've already received. So so it's very important to be clear about what you want and what you really want to manifest. And that starts with starting out with looking at where you're at. So when I look at where I am, I'm like, okay, how did I get here? What's working, what isn't working? I ask for clarity from the universe, and it shows me or reveals to me things that I need to do in order to change. So spiritually, things are being revealed to me. And then I look for that in my physical world as to where does this apply? Is it in my work? Is it in my personal life? Is it, and so I've already done all this. Okay. So what have I learned from all of that? And now that I'm evolving, that we're going to be doing something different or new, we need to clear the road for that to happen. But I can't just sit there on my couch in my pajamas telling the universe, I don't like where I'm at. I don't know what to do. I really need a job, or I need this, or I need that. But we're not creating any intent or actions to back that up. So that's the topic for tonight. So I just wanted to get together with you guys here. So this thing scrolls funny, so I'm just going to say hi to everybody real quick. Hey, Sue and Colleen. It's good to see you guys. Hi, Ashley and Bridget. Oh, like I said, this scrolling thing is for the birds. Hey, Bess Ann. Good to see you, Jackie. Dottie Cooper, my girl. And it's so good to see you guys. So thanks for joining me tonight. So that's our topic for tonight, is manifesting. And so the vagueness. Now, I have to tell you guys, we had 2 planets that were retrograde for the last month or so. And they were Venus and they were Mercury, the planet of communication. Trust me, guys, over the last 3 weeks, everybody's been saying stuff out loud. Everything's been coming up, all the miscommunication, the lies, all the bullshit, all of those things were revealed this last month. So for those of you that had some difficulties with communication, or people in your world communicating, or miscommunications, that was going on. So those things went direct. So when the planet goes retrograde, it's spinning backwards. And now it's going to go forwards. It's moving through the solar system forward again. But we're still in this little bit of a shadow phase, and it should be over this week. So everything should straighten out. So Venus was about relationships. So if you guys were having any relationship conflicts, and now relationships aren't just romantic. They're with friends, people in general, our work. A lot of things came into question about our relationships. And so a lot of truths have been revealed in the last month when it comes to, the relationships, the things we're passionate about, and how we're communicating. Okay. So this is where having a session or coaching with me really helps, because it gives you tools so that you know how to navigate that. So the first thing I do is I stop. I stop moving. It's called, in indigenous cultures, it's called the stillness. Okay, so learning how to sit still. Because when we sit still, then we can think. And when we think, these divine things are coming to us. And it also makes us feel something. Okay, so this is why a lot of people avoid sitting still, because it makes you think, and then you have some kind of an emotional reaction. And but that's a very important part of the process, okay, is to remove our human emotion so that we can get to that inner clarity, okay? Now, there are ways to do that, but I don't want to dig into all that tonight. I have classes for all of these things as well. But what I've noticed is nobody's being clear, okay? And I know Mercury was retrograde, but if I was the universe, what do you want? What does that look like? Are you honoring the blessings I already gave you? Okay. So, it's like a little kid. You buy him a toy and they don't honor it. They mistreat it and they break it and they, throw it away because they think another one's coming, So how are we honoring the blessings in our life that we've already asked for? Now, if things don't fit, or it's just not working anymore for you, and you're changing and evolving, or other people and situations are changing and evolving, it doesn't make it wrong or bad. It just means it's not where we need to be anymore, and that's cool. But we have to honor this thing and say to the universe, this was something that I needed in that moment, but now I don't need it anymore. So how do I let go of these things in an honorable way? So this is where I wanted to talk just a little bit about intent, okay? So the bigger question is why? Why do you want whatever it is that you want to manifest? What's your intent with that? Is it good? Is it gluttonous? Do you want just more? Because, if this little kid's going to break this toy and I'm the parent, I'm not going to buy them another one because they didn't honor the one they already had. So, again, we've got this misconception that this stuff just keeps showing up, or we keep going out and, manifesting just stuff. And so this takes a process of sitting still and and asking yourself, where am I in my life? How did I get here? And since I've already manifested these things, what did I learn from that? And then the things that don't fit anymore, we want to clear the road and make room for new things to appear or manifest. And so we want to graciously and gratefully let go of the things that are no longer serving us, whether, like I said, it's a way of thinking. I had limited thinking a long time ago. And I learned from that. I learned that, things aren't always according to Marianne Goldweber, that there's, and so as I was evolving, my needs changed. My concepts and processes changed. And as I changed, it started to reveal this new maturity, this new accountability, and the things that were beginning to arrive were better because I was going to honor it. I was going to honor those things in a different way. I'd done the work in order to manifest better opportunities, better situations for myself. And so that partnership with the universe is very, very important. But they're very clear about your actions and your words, thought or projected, and your intent. Okay, so we have to stay in integrity and really check your motives. Why are we doing what we're doing? Why do we want this? Is it a want or is it a need? And so again, we can manifest. We're manifesting all the time. Things are appearing all the time. But some of these things are not for me. I don't hoard things anymore, afraid of lack, being in a fear of lack. And what are we doing with the resources and the things that we already have, and who and what are we investing our blessings on? Okay. And so that's where we have to sit with things and self-check and see where we're at. But being vague is very interesting because, when you say, I need a job. Okay. Well, first of all, like when I watch the posts on social media, it's kind of funny because one, you didn't say where, what city, what state. And because lots of people see those things, not necessarily just, people on your friends list, especially if you post things publicly, but we have to get really clear about what it is we're looking for and, or what arena that you want to be in. But the bigger issue is to be clear with yourself first before we communicate that to other people and to the universe, because they're going to give you pretty much exactly what you asked for or nothing, because they don't know what you want because you're not clear. So now that we're out of this retrograde, this communication with ourselves and in, the world and our projection to the universe should get a lot clearer in the next week or so. The new moon is also coming in 2 weeks from now. So that's a time of rest and reflection. But right now we're planting seeds and but I want you to be conscious about what you're planting and what you're putting out there. What's your intent, And so we've got to check our motives, because right now there's a lot of things manifesting because of people's greed and their disconnection from humanity. There's a lot of really bad things manifesting. But that is not the universe manifesting that. That's people manifesting that. So we want to get clear about that and the kind of world we want for ourselves and for our children and each other. And so we have to just get a lot clearer about it. Okay. So that's kind of the topic for tonight. I did want to catch up on some news as well. So I want to thank everyone who came to Serenity Sunday last weekend. Oh my God, that was so much fun. And we also had our first pet channeling event, and talking to everyone's pets and ancestors and all of that was just wonderful. And it was just such a nice, fun group. I'm not kidding. I don't think I've laughed that hard in a long time. So I wanted to let you know that our Wagner's of Westlake event, I'll be appearing for a performance on the 26th of April. And that is hot appetizers, cash bar, and an evening with me. And the universe has just been delivering some of the most amazing messages. And it's so clear right now. I love the clarity because people are listening. And so the the energy is much clearer because people are being inspired and people are listening more than they were before. The universe, there comes a point, guys, sometimes where they've already given you 1,000 messages and they stop talking. They won't give you any guidance because you already heard the message. You already know what to do, but you're still doing it your way some more. So they will not talk. Okay. But right now, everything's super clear. So then we have another pet channeling event. This is our second one, and it's going to be this Saturday night. So if you go on to mariannegoldweber.com/events, you're going to see all the events that I have. I also have a public channeling event this Saturday night here at a village. It's only 12. These are only 12 seats when they're here locally. And I'm just super excited because there are so many amazing, wonderful things going on in our world. People are awakening at breakneck speed, and, it takes a village, guys. We have to come together in order to support, these changes that not only you're making in your life, but what's the changes that are we're being called to in the world. And so it's a really wonderful time. There's a lot of solidarity going on, and it's very exciting to watch. And the universe is just cheering for you. Okay. So we got to get clear. So, just for fun, go back and look, think about how you're asking for what you want, whether it's, silently in your head or our communication with other people. Collaboration, any relationship, guys, takes communication, clear communication. And so I teach a class all about defining relationships and how to communicate clearer, and how to be, in interdependent relationships. And so if you take a look at my class schedule, I'm going to be putting those out virtually in the next week or so. They're already out there, but the schedule is going to get advertised better. So that's called Defining Our Relationships. And so it's about how to build, what is required to have relationships, whether it's with yourself, with the universe, or with people in your life, and how to create better, healthier, interdependent relationships. So it always starts with you. Okay, you are the manifester. You are everything you have in your life is because you agreed to it on some level. And if you don't like where you're at, and then maybe we need to change the way you work. So, there's always room for improvement. I don't think anybody really shares with us that we're going to continually evolve through this lifetime. There is no real arrival, guys. I mean, there's these little stops along the way that we arrive at, but nothing stays the same. And the more tools you have, the more adventuresome you'll be, the less fear you'll have about stepping into new places and things. And so schedule some time with me. So gift certificates right now will be on sale until the end of the month, and then the prices are going back up. So right now, a gift certificate for a video session with me is $50. Okay, normally they're $60. So if you want to buy a bunch of them for Mother's Day, or to keep for yourself, or to give out to friends who might need some guidance, now's the time to buy those. You can buy multiple ones. Just go onto my website under on the homepage, or under products, and you'll see those things there. So yeah, let's get a game plan, guys. Let's work smarter, not harder. The universe is always waiting for us to take that first step into the directions that we want. We have to prove it. You got to put your money where your mouth is. And again, they're very literal. And, we have to not only prove it with our actions, but with our words and with our intent. If we have malintent, you're going to manifest some things that you might not like. So, and we've all done that. Okay, trust me. I've asked for things. And one time my guide said to me, I said, I really need this. And my guide said, okay, well, watch what you asked for. They actually said that. And I had to stop and really rethink why did I want that, and what was my intent? If it's out of fear, or it's out of whatever, we're just going to manifest more things to fear. So we have to really stop and look at the trifecta of actions, words, and intent when it comes to what we want in our life. And we got to sometimes act as if and push through our discomfort to try new things. And that's where I'm the best cheerleader ever, giving you a game plan straight from your helpers, and then showing you how to implement that, and giving you some tools so that you are confident and independent spiritually. That's my goal, is to get you empowered. So yeah. Get the gift certificates. Mother's Day is coming. Okay. So, how much stuff do people need? As a mother, okay, there's nothing I really need. Okay. There are things I enjoy, but I have to tell you, if the gift of insight or having a gift certificate, that's not something somebody normally will buy for themselves. So as a mom, I'm not going to, necessarily spend money on certain things because I'm either helping other people, or I'm, I don't think about myself sometimes. A lot of times we don't, because we're so busy being caretakers, or, helping other people. So buying something that they wouldn't normally purchase for themselves, like, an hour with me, is such a wonderful gift, because it really keeps on giving. Having that clarity, you feel like you can change the world. You're like, okay, I got this. And once you get that reassurance from the universe, it makes it doable. Okay. Fear is the enemy. We don't have time for that. And you're a badass. Okay. I hate to break it to you, but you're really a badass. So stop acting like a wuss. Okay. And, we got a whole village of badasses here. And so, come to something, get connected, meet the other people, that have done these things as well. Oh, I also want to let you know I will be at Project White Butterflies Recovery Collective tomorrow night. And if you go to Project White Butterflies Facebook page, the topic, I can't remember what the topic is. Oh, trusting your inner guidance, which is hard. It's hard to separate your higher guidance from your shitty committee in your head. And so listening and learning how to be still. So it's going to be some, breath work, how to meditate or sit still, and then how to listen, and how to write those things down and to take notes when we're listening for our inner voice, the nice one that tells you, encourages you and supports you. And so we'll be at the Recovery Collective tomorrow night at 7. Join us because it's going to be a wonderful class. And these are little mini workshops. So if any of you are interested in professional development or spiritual or, development, corporate wise, I do all of these workshops and classes custom suited for your team and the industry you're in. I come from corporate background. And so a lot of people are going back to the office, and, people are so socially backward right now because we have not been necessarily, I know a lot of you guys are out there every day with people, but there's, people are really, socially awkward. Okay. And they're not necessarily following, any protocol or boundaries. They're just all running amok. It's all about me, me. And, they're not playing well with others necessarily. So if you need a workshop for you or your team to inspire them and bring them together and get them to work more cohesively, give me a call. There's also a downloadable PDF on my services page. If you go there and, give it to the powers at large, because sometimes we just need a refresher course in how to work well with others, whether it comes to communicating or, sharing perspectives or working as a team. That's not always easy to do when we've all been operating separately. Coming back together brings up a lot of challenges. And right now, everybody's socially awkward. The world's been in a constant flux for the last 5 years. And so there's a lot of, we're all learning new ways and we're all coming together and sharing perspectives. And so those skills are very valuable right now. And none of us have all these tools, guys. Nobody taught us this stuff. So let's get a game plan. Let's get you in alignment with that reciprocal energy of the universe. And because we're all manifesting new and beautiful things that are bringing this world together. And we want you successful, and we want you in places where you can use your talents to, make money and do a great job. And, but sometimes we need a little confidence booster, But when you are not communicating clearly with people or the universe, you're not going to get what you want. It creates conflict. It creates misunderstanding. And so we can avoid that. So anyway, yes, gift certificates. Look up for the events, guys. Come on, bring your friends over and let's have a party. I love parties. Okay. I am a party. And so there's lots of opportunities to come together on the weekends. Now, events here are only $30 a person. So it's a wonderful thing. You don't just get your own message, but you hear all these beautiful messages in the room. And the other side is funny. They have a lot of wisdom to share now that they've got this new perspective. And so you never know who's going to show up. You never know what they're going to say. But we're all in a learning curve right now, guys. Everything's evolving. And it is a little weird right now. But again, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. And so have faith. Trust that there is a bigger thing at work out here, and all we can do is our part. So let's get in that flow and let's make this a better world. I want to make your world better, nicer, kinder, more love, all those wonderful things. But, we got to go first. And sometimes we just need someone to cheer us on and show us the way. So that's where I come in. So anyway, so who's here? Any questions? Let's see what we got going on. Oh, Beth, and I love your little avatar. It's so cute. Well, hey, Jamie. Nice to see you. Chris, oh my God, how are you? Oh, it's good to see you guys. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Gail. Kelly, this is cool. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a wonderful evening. And if you have any questions, just give me a call, 216-324-2657. Literally, I get thousands of messages between TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and on my phone. Okay, so the easiest way to book a session with me is just call me. The information is on my website, or just call 216-324-2657. You know, we had a wonderful dialogue here at Serenity Sunday. It is so cool to have all this wisdom, all these different people together, sharing inspiration, sharing their stories, coming together, and and we all have learned to laugh at ourselves. Okay, can you imagine what the universe has to look at when they're watching us run with scissors? So again, come to a public event, bring your friends. And again, sometimes they got to hear it from me and not from you. Okay. And so it's a wonderful opportunity for us to all, get information so we can make this a better place. So I'm grateful for you. Thank you for following me. And if you guys ever get anything from these videos, you're welcome to just throw a couple bucks on my Venmo. I do upload these when I'm done to YouTube. Okay, so you can always go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. And if you subscribe, then you'll get notified when I put up a new video. And that way you don't miss anything. You can watch all the archived videos from the past, whether it's about the moon or retrogrades or grief, death. I mean, I have topics about everything. I've even got some special guests. There was a video on there with Jared, where I interviewed my own son during COVID. So we got a bunch of videos up there. Facebook keeps telling me they're going to delete all the videos. So don't rely on Facebook, guys. They're going to delete all the live feeds. So I've been uploading them to YouTube. And so if you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Spring is coming. It's time to plant those seeds, but we got to get the ground ready and get ready. Prepared. My grandpa used to say, prepare for the worst and expect the best. And so action partnered with intent and communication manifests amazing things. So thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Keep the peace and pray for our world.